Piers Morgan reveals surprising insight on King Charles, Farage and Starmer viewers left stunned. Alright, buckle up. Because what Piers Morgan just revealed on air has people across the UK and beyond absolutely buzzing. It's bold. It's unexpected. And it involves three of the most talked about names in British public life right now. King Charles, Nigel Farage, and Keir Starmer. Yep, this one's got everything monarchy, politics, media, and just the right touch of mystery. While the headlines were fixated on party manifestos and reshuffles, something quietly dropped during Morgan's latest segment on Piers Morgan Uncensored, and it's lighting up the political commentariat like wildfire. Let's break down exactly what happened and why it matters. So here's the setup. On last night's show, Piers was covering the growing tension between the political class and the British public, a theme he's been hammering for weeks. He pivoted quickly to what he called a quiet shift happening behind the scenes, one the public isn't supposed to notice. Then he paused, leaned forward, and dropped this line. Let's just say, certain conversations involving King Charles, Farage, and Starmer have taken place, and the implications are fascinating. Cue silence. Viewers leaned in. Social media exploded. He didn't claim anything illegal, didn't cite direct quotes, but he painted a picture. And in today's world, that's enough to get people talking. So, what exactly did Morgan imply? Well, according to his commentary, King Charles has reportedly expressed measured concern over the tone of UK politics, especially in relation to growing populist sentiment and rising public distrust. He referenced conversations, not leaks, but well-placed whispers that suggest Farage's political resurgence and Starmer's approach to party leadership have sparked quiet debate inside royal circles. Morgan framed it this way. The king's role is to stay out of the political arena, yes. But that doesn't mean he doesn't watch closely. And when figures like Farage dominate the conversation while Starmer struggles to connect, you better believe Buckingham Palace is paying attention. It wasn't a bombshell. It was something subtler, more strategic. And it got everyone asking the same question. What exactly does the monarchy think of Britain's current political trajectory? Now remember, King Charles has long walked a tightrope when it comes to politics. As Prince of Wales, he was known for expressing personal views on the environment, architecture, and youth programs, but since ascending to the throne, he's held fast to the constitutional rule of neutrality. That said, we're not talking about public statements here. We're talking about quiet observations, personal impressions, conversations that may never officially be acknowledged but still matter hugely. As for Nigel Farage, Morgan didn't mince words. He called him one of the most disruptive forces in modern British politics, for better or worse. He suggested that Farage's return to the spotlight, particularly through Reform UK, is reshaping the conversation in ways both the Tories and Labour didn't see coming. And that brings us to Keir Starmer. Morgan was blunt. He's not winning hearts, he's managing headlines. In contrast to Farage's raw emotional appeal, whether you agree with him or not, Starmer's leadership is seen by many as safe, controlled, even robotic. And that, according to Morgan, is what's troubling to some behind the scenes, including, perhaps, those within royal or elite establishment circles. People aren't angry because they disagree with Starmer, Morgan said. They're angry because they can't figure out what he actually believes in. Now let's talk reaction. Immediately after the broadcast, Twitter or X lit up. One user posted, "If King Charles is watching Farage's rise and Starmer stumbles, then so should we. Because something is shifting." Another wrote, "Piers Morgan isn't just speculating, he's signaling. This isn't theater, it's a warning." Political commentators jumped in too. One former advisor told GB News privately, "If the palace is nervous about instability, they won't say it. But they'll definitely feel it. And that tells you everything." Another added, "There's always a message in the silence. Charles doesn't need to speak. His attentiveness is the signal." So where does this go next? Well, here's the real story. Whether or not there was a specific message from the king to anyone, what matters is that public faith in the political establishment is eroding fast. Piers Morgan is tapping into something bigger than a royal whisper. He's exposing the disconnect between those in charge and those they claim to represent, between calm behind palace gates and the unrest brewing across the country, between a monarch trained in observation and politicians scrambling to reclaim credibility. And that's the real takeaway here. Because when the media starts asking what the king thinks, it's not about politics anymore. It's about stability. It's about legacy. And it's about whether anyone in a position of power is truly in touch with what's happening across this country, from working-class communities in the north, to disillusioned voters in London, to the silent middle who are tired of choosing the lesser of two evils. Do we get an official statement? Highly unlikely. But behind the curtain, the message is already clear. The nation is watching. And so is the king. And if even Buckingham Palace is starting to pay closer attention, then this may be just the beginning of a much bigger political reckoning. Be sure to like, comment, and subscribe, because this conversation is only just getting started. Let us know what you think. Is Farage the real challenge to the status quo? Has Starmer lost his momentum? And should the king ever express concern behind closed doors? Hit the comments below and stay locked in, because what's being whispered today might be front-page news tomorrow.